Throughout history, there have been remarkable cases of individuals who have survived their own executions, events that defy logic and seem almost impossible. These stories often bring into question the nature of fate, justice, and the sheer will to live. 1. Rommel Broom. Rommel Broom's story is one of the most harrowing in recent history. Sentenced to death for the abduction, rape, and murder of a 14-year-old girl in Ohio, Broom's execution was scheduled for September 15, 2009. However, what followed was a nightmare. Over a span of 2 hours, executioners attempted to find a suitable vein for the lethal injection 18 times, each attempt failing. The execution was called off, and Broom remained on death row until he died of COVID-19 in 2020. His case highlights the unpredictable and often brutal nature of the death penalty. 2. Konstantin Petrovich Feoktistov. Feoktistov's story takes us back to World War II. At just 16 years old, Feoktistov was part of the Soviet army fighting against the Nazi occupation of Voronezh. Captured by German forces, he was shot by a German officer. The bullet passed through his chin and neck without killing him, a miraculous survival. Feoktistov managed to crawl back to Soviet lines, where he recovered and later became a cosmonaut, flying on Voskhod 1, the first spacecraft to carry 3 crew members. His survival in battle, coupled with his achievements in space, has made him a legendary figure, with a crater on the far side of the moon named in his honor. 3. Alva Campbell. Campbell, an American convicted of murder in Ohio, faced execution in November 2017. Like Broom, his execution was halted because medical staff could not find a suitable vein for the lethal injection. Suffering from multiple health issues, including cancer and lung disease, Campbell's life was extended until March 3, 2018, when he died of natural causes. His case further questions the ethics of capital punishment, especially for those with severe health problems. 4. Simon Srebrenik. As a Holocaust survivor, Srebrenik's tale is one of sheer determination. A Polish Jew, Srebrenik was imprisoned in the Chełmno extermination camp, where he was shot in the head at close range by Nazi guards. Miraculously, he survived the gunshot, escaping just 2 days before Soviet forces liberated the camp in 1945. His story stands as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable horror. 5. Willie Francis. Willie Francis was just 17 years old when he survived a failed execution by electrocution in the United States. In 1946, Francis was strapped into the electric chair in Louisiana, but due to a malfunction, he survived the first attempt. The ordeal was a horrifying experience for the young man, who was returned to death row. After an appeal to the Supreme Court failed, Francis was executed successfully the following year at the age of 18. His story is often cited in discussions about the flaws in the capital punishment system. 6. Timofey Mikhailov. A member of the Russian revolutionary organization Narodnaya Volya, Mikhailov was sentenced to death for his role in the assassination of Tsar Alexander II. In April 1881, Mikhailov was hanged, but the rope broke under his weight, twice. Despite the crowd's belief that these were signs from God to spare his life, a third attempt with a reinforced rope was successful. Mikhailov's near escape from death is a chilling reminder of the brutality of the times. 7. Robert Hebra. In one of the most tragic events of World War II, the Oradour-sur-Glane massacre in France saw the brutal slaughter of 643 residents by the SS Panzer Division. Hebra was one of only 6 people to survive. Despite being severely wounded, he managed to escape through burning buildings. His survival is a story of luck and resilience amidst one of the war's most heinous atrocities. 8. Wenceslao Moguel. A soldier during the Mexican Revolution, Moguel was captured and sentenced to death without trial. He was shot multiple times and even received a final point-blank shot to the head intended to ensure his death. Remarkably, Mogel survived and lived to tell the tale, though he was left permanently scarred and disfigured. His story is one of defiance and survival against all odds. 9. Doyle Lee Ham. Ham, sentenced to death for a 1987 murder, endured a botched execution attempt in 2018. Due to his lymphatic cancer and poor venous access, the executioners were unable to successfully administer the lethal injection after 3 hours of trying. A confidential settlement prevented a second attempt, and Ham lived out the rest of his days in prison, dying of cancer-related complications in 2021. 10. John Smith, half-hanged Smith. Smith, a London housebreaker, earned the nickname Half-Hanged Smith after surviving his own execution. Not once, but 3 times, Smith escaped death. His life was ultimately spared, and he became a symbol of defiance against the grim finality of execution.